The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
You think about this. John Thompson was known for what early in his career? The development of big guys. He had great front court guys, and they had great success. Then he got this guy named Allen Iverson, and he completely transitioned into, playing. That's what a good coach is supposed to do.
I want to show people I can win, because that's like the main goal for everybody. And over here at UAB, I think that's like the main thing.
This is the Inferno Podcast. It's the official podcast of UAB Athletics. Blazer fans, this is the place every week for an inside look into UAB Athletics. This episode is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Welcome into the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here. We got Season 2, Episode 10 today. We're talking hoops today. Some great stuff happening on the podcast today. Of course, we're brought to you, as always, by Legacy Credit Union, the official credit union of UAB Athletics. Let's take a look at the rundown and see what we got. First of all, AK is here, one of our favorite guests, Andy Kennedy. He just expounds on everything. We'll talk to him. And don't forget about that UAB Vandy exhibition game, October 23rd, for the first time in a long time. The NCAA allowing that. That's going to be a huge game, and we'll talk about that in the weeks to come, but kind of make a note of that. Our Blazer of the Week's Daniel Rivera. He's only been here a few weeks. One of the last guys that Andy Kennedy got, but very interesting Puerto Rico guy. Last played at UMass. He's a rebounding freak, so we'll talk to him and see how he likes Birmingham. And then, of course, the fall sports schedule is just in full bloom, if you will, so we'll take a look at that and more coming up on this podcast. As always, you can find us YouTube, Twitter, wherever you find us, Facebook, UAB Athletics, UABsports.com, whatever way is the best way for you to get it. Be sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell for notification on that deal. So let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk to Andy Kennedy, see where his team is after a couple of weeks of starting practice. You're watching the Inferno Podcast.
Are you getting sacked by monthly fees on your checking account? Trent Dilfer here, head coach of the UAB Blazers. Legacy Credit Union's everyday checking account can get you back in the game. No minimum balance, no monthly fees, and get paid up to 2 days early. Check out LegacyCreditUnion.com for more information and apply today. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB.
Welcome back to the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here in our Coach's Corner, brought to you by Viva Health and Pepsi. We've got one of the guys here that I've known for many, many years, Andy Kennedy, hanging out.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you. You look younger and younger every time I see you. What is that about?
Poor lighting.
Is that a skincare thing?
No, it's got to be poor lighting. Old eyes. Old eyes from you.
That's it, exactly.
I have not aged well, but such is the life of a coach.
Exactly. You don't expect to do that. So we just talked to some guys around here, and you've got a completely, which is college basketball, right? You got so many new guys.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I'm going into my 19th year as a head coach, my 6th year, believe it or not, here at my alma mater. And this is something that I've never had to go through before. It's probably been the most tumultuous off season of my career to this point. We last year we finished the season by winning 24 games, getting to the quarterfinals of the NIT. We had an opportunity based on the Diego Pavia rule. I don't know if that's the official name, but that's what I call it. So based on the Diego Pavia rule, we had a chance to bring back 4 starters off that team. But we knew, when transfer portal, immediate eligibility, NIL, all of the things that come with that, we knew that was not going to be feasible. So we lost everybody. everybody jumped into the portal other than the guys. We lost some guys based on attrition.
Of course,
Tony
yeah.
was there for 5 years. Alejandro Vasquez lost it, finished his eligibility. Brad is where. But then we lost some guys, and Axel Lindenborg goes to Michigan. Chris Coleman goes to Oak State. Efren Buddy Johnson, who'd been with us for 3 years, goes to Clemson. And then Jabari McGee goes to Mississippi State. And we tried to help them in
You have to.
Well, of course, I'm for them, and it was most of those guys got really life-changing money for them, and so I was happy that we were able to help facilitate that transition for them in their career. But in the meantime, we had to go back and rebuild. We'd signed 2 kids early, 3 kids maybe, I don't know, I lose track, and then we had to sign a bunch of guys in the spring. So typically, you're done with your team in May-ish,
Right.
when the fall term ends, and you got new guys coming in, and you hope to have your whole group here in June. We didn't get our whole group here until August, so we were still building pieces throughout the course of the summer, trying to figure out, okay, this is an area that desperately needs some attention, and you just kind of try to put the pieces together as best you can.
It's amazing. And to your point, I don't think people understand that. If you're for the player, which you are because you were a player, now you have the separation of coach and ask them to do what they got to do, but you're still for the player.
Of course, yeah.
So it's almost like you're at a JUCO, right? I mean, kind of because
you have to change your
If you
mentality.
develop your guys and do well, and you've done your job, then they go somewhere else if they want to.
I hope it's a JUCO because that means 2 years. I mean, it could be 1 year. I mean, it could be like a prep school almost. You're taking good players. Obviously, we hope we get good players, and we have. If you get good players, then they may only be with you, a year. I'm the makeup of our team, which I'm sure we'll dive into. I looked at it the other day, and cumulatively. That's a hard word to say. Cumulatively, they have had 23 head coaches prior to me.
Wow.
Yeah, 23.
Just in the college level.
Just at the college level, yeah, of course.
Wow.
I've got 2 kids that I'm their 5th coach in 5 years, multiple that I'm their 4th in 4 years, many the 3rd and 3rd. We've only got 1 kid on our team that has played for the same college coach in 2 consecutive years.
Wow.
So when you put that in perspective and you say, well, why do you say that? Well, just because I'm trying to teach them new terminology. There is a language. It's as if we're at the Tower of Babel. No one speaks the same language anymore, and so we're trying to come up with a common language so that we can communicate. And then we've got to figure out. It's my job ultimately to put them in the best position possible to be successful. So I can't be there's certain non-negotiables, but I can't be so headstrong. Well, this is how we played last year, so this is how we're going to play this year. We don't do that. So we try to figure out what are the strengths of the team, the personnel, and then I have to mold, concepts around that, along with the effort things, the discipline things, the toughness things that are non-negotiable, as I said. But schematically, so I feel like we're behind where I would typically like to be at this stage in early October, simply because I couldn't put things together until I figured out what was in the best interest of the group.
So you're a cook right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm taking this and mixing this.
Yeah, a little taste here, a little taste there. Oh, we're a little low. We're a little low of this. Where's that salt?
Does that make you have to simplify technique
Yeah,
offensively?
it makes me. Yeah, I feel there's nothing worse than going into battle with not enough bullets.
Yeah.
And you don't really know you don't have enough bullets until you're standing up over there and the other team's still shooting at you and you don't have anything to shoot back.
Right.
That's a terrible feeling, because ultimately my job, Griff, is to manipulate the game. When I stand up on that sideline, my job is to have my team prepared, and then I have to be able to manipulate the game. That's my job. And so you've got to give we have to have enough pitches in the arsenal, and we have to have enough bullets in the gun so that we can, change and adapt accordingly. And so I don't want to quote unquote dumb it down so that we're all systematically at least connected.
Right.
We got to have enough to
win.
Right. And I worry about that because I've had to go a lot slower than typically we would go, and that's a little concerning for the old ball coach.
And with the fact you're in a league where you need to win everything. You're not in a league where you can use the preseason totally and not necessarily worry about wins and losses.
No.
And I know you want to win every game. A lot of people
course.
don't understand that concept.
Of course. No, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like last year, for instance, we went 7-6 in the non-league.
Yeah.
Underachieved. And so we knew. I mean, it wasn't like, hey, there was no other path than to try to put yourself in position to get the double bye, which fortunately we did. I think we finished third in the regular season.
Yeah.
So that you have to win 3 games in 3 days as opposed to 4 or possibly 5. Now, I'm not as dumb as I look. I know winning 3 in a row is easier than winning 4 in a row.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we were able to secure the double bye and made it back to the championship game and weren't able to beat Memphis. But we knew that was our only path. Memphis could have still gotten in as an at-large if they would have lost
Sure.
to us because they did what you said. They took care of their business in the non-league. So you're right, man. Our second game of the season is at North Carolina State. Huge opportunity, and it's one that we've got to be ready for because we don't have as many of those quote-unquote quad 1, quad 2 opportunities.
Yeah. And every day of practice, and I don't think people understand this, it would drive you nuts if you have a wasted day. You cannot have a wasted bad practice is almost like
Can't have it.
Can't sleep at night.
Well, you can't have it, but we're dealing with, you're going to have some injuries. Everybody's going to, have some bumps and bruises where guys miss a day, miss 2 days. I feel like that means that they've missed a week.
Yeah.
Because we have so much to cover. And I'm a big believer in habits. We talk about it daily with my team, habits over everything, in my opinion. At the end of the day, we're all creatures of habit. And so we're trying to build championship-level habits in a very, very quick way, in an efficient way, hopefully, simply because I don't have them that long. Mm-hmm. The 2 guys that – we've got a number of seniors on the team, but we don't even really know what that means. Like last year we went in and we had, Alejandro Vasquez. He was a senior, and he was on his 6th year. So we knew he probably wasn't going to fall into any window that the NCAA created. But with Yaxel and Chris, and, they got opportunities to extend their careers – because of the Pavia rule. So now there's a lot of discussion about, they've already granted it for Division II. So I think it's inevitable, honestly, that it's going to happen for Division I. They're going to give kids a 5-year clock where you can play 5 years.
Like the old days.
Yeah, it's always been you've had 5 years, but you can only play 4. I think they're going to give them 5 to play 5.
Right, okay.
So that would extend the careers of some of these kids that are seniors on our team because they're in year 4 as a senior as opposed to year 5. It won't affect a couple of guys, though. And so with those guys, you look up, man, we're already in October. I've got them for 6 more months. Some of them, Daniel Rivera, who I think was just on with you.
Yeah.
Daniel didn't get to us till August.
He said that.
I'm his 5th coach in 5 years, and he got here in August, and he was coming off arthroscopic knee surgery. So he wasn't even full speed. So he's just now rounding into what we envision him being, and we've had to kind of, again, pump the brakes in some of our schematic stuff until we find out, okay, what can he do? Ahmad Robinson's another, and Ahmad Robinson, I'm his 5th in 5 years. Ahmad came off torn labrum surgery in March at the end of his season at Mercer. Talented player, led him in scoring, all-league type guy in the SoCon you're familiar with, the Sanford League. And Ahmad was here all summer, but he couldn't undergo contact till he was cleared because it's a 5-month rehab. So he was not eligible or active in 5-on-5 play till he came back in the fall. So I've only really coached him about 3 weeks to a month, and he's still finding his way as well. And these are 2 kids that we're anticipating having big years for us.
So when you're looking at an empty roster, and then you start plucking as best you can, and as you said, you're even doing it in the summer when you should be going to the beach a little bit, but you're mixing all these things. What are you looking for? I know you're looking for, I got to have some post players, some perimeter guys, got to have a couple of shooters. But beyond that, what are you looking for?
The biggest thing, competitive spirit's very, very important to us. I like to recruit guys that come from winning cultures, but that's not a luxury that I can have anymore.
No,
we have to find what we can find that we feel like fits our needs, and it also fits within our budget. Let's be honest. That has become a huge part of this equation. So we have to also, budget shop. When I was a kid, I've said this before, you'll get a kick out of it because we're about the same era. Remember back in the day when, in the early 80s, mid 80s, polo's still a thing. Like that shirt you've got on, they would refer to that as a polo because of the
Like
the
a Xerox
style.
copy.
Right.
It's
They would say that's a polo, but
Right.
but back in my day, the polo with the little stick man
Was
that
a polo.
Well, that was a real thing. I mean,
Yeah.
if you had a polo in the 80s, I mean, you were hey man, you were in the in crowd. Well, I couldn't afford a polo where I grew up. in Louisville, Mississippi.
Right.
But I don't know if you know this, but every once in a while, as they were manufacturing the little polo man, maybe they got his stick wrong or his leg was a little
So you
crooked.
could get it cheap.
Yeah, they'd cut the tag in the back. Don't you remember? So it would say polo in the back, and they would cut the tag, and then it would go to Steinmart. I don't know if Steinmart is still.
I think.
Well, maybe we could get them on as a sponsor. I'm giving them a free plug here. But so I would go to Steinmart, and they would take the polos that were defected, and they would put them at Steinmart, and they wouldn't put them by size. Remember, you had to look through the whole rack, and just hopefully you'd find one, and if you pulled it out and it was your size, and you looked at it from a distance, it looked like a polo. It looked fine.
Right.
That's the way we've recruited. We have gone through Steinmart. I mean, we've gone on the clearance and just tried to find. Every guy's going to have a little bit of this or that, a torn labrum, a torn this.
He fits all these.
Yeah, and if and so that's kind of the way that we've approached this because our budget is that of Steinmart, and when we have to have a team that still can compete against the Memphises, the Wichita States, the South Floridas of the world.
Thank the Lord you can develop players, though.
And
because
it's hard,
that's all this is.
And it's hard to develop them when you only have them for a certain amount of time. So you've got to really thread the needle, and you've got to find guys that fit together, that come with a chip. To your earlier question, what do you look for? Well, you have this, and then you say, well, what can complement that? And you just build it out. Honestly, you just build it out. You start with your foundation, and then you just kind of start building it out. And that's what we've tried to do.
So have you sought advice from any basketball sages? You know everybody, but everybody's kind of going through the same thing. So I'm sure everybody's kind of talking to see, what's worked for you, man? You know what I mean?
And everybody's challenges are different. Everybody's budget's different. Everybody's circumstances are different. Everybody's level is different, and everybody's still trying to figure it out. Again, I'm going into year 19, my 30th year in the space, 19th as a head coach. And it's not anything that I've ever dealt with before. And I talked to, say, for instance, a Rick Barnes, a dear friend of mine. Rick's been in this business for 50 years. He's a Hall of Famer. And he's like, I've never done anything like this. So no one even really has advice to share because we're all kind of going through it with no guardrails. That's a term a lot of people like to use, and there really is no guardrails.
So what needs to happen before we get back to your team?
Oh, man.
In your opinion, that could be 10-minute answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think it's a mess. I think you got to blow it up and start
because
over.
UAB needs to be competitive with everybody else. You're going to take away the allure of the NCAA tournament if you allow money to be the only factor.
Yeah. But anytime money enters the equation, it's the only factor, isn't it?
You're right.
I mean, most of the time, doesn't it just overpower everything else in the room?
Yeah. But it's sad to me that you develop Lindenborg and take this guy, develop him where he's an all-around player and excellent at so many things, and then he leaves, and you can't blame him. We're not blaming him.
No, of course not.
But it's like, well, what happens to me over here?
Well, you don't get any compensation for it, but other than pure joy.
It's not like you get draft choices.
Pure joy in seeing him be successful, and I do have great joy.
Yeah,
I appreciate everything him and all the kids did. And I get it. I mean, it was an opportunity that made sense for them on a lot of levels, and so I support that. All we can do, man, I can sit around and twiddle my thumbs and say the sky's falling. Bro, I mean, adapt or die. I know this. I know on November 3rd when we open up against Mississippi Valley State, everybody understands the challenges at UAB and in intercollegiate athletics today. Nobody cares about that on game night. They want to win the game. Nobody cares about, hey, whose budget. They're not going to say when we play NC State, well, here's NC State's roster budget, here's UAB's. Nobody cares about that. They care about that final score.
Yeah.
So I've got a good group of guys. My staff has done an incredible job. We picked up 6 kids out of the portal. We picked up 4 junior college kids, and junior college players have been very, very successful for us here. It's an area that we've really tried to focus on. Yeah. And then we picked up 2 outstanding high school players, one of which starred just down the road at Hoover High School, Salim London, 3-time straight state champion.
And Dad was pretty good.
And this kid's got a chance to be a really, really good player. So we've got a good mix. Again, I'm just trying to get the soup right. I'm not ready to put it out for sale just yet. I'm still tasting it. There's times that it works. Yeah. There's times I need some crackers.
That's right. That's right. Andy Kennedy, our guest here for a few more minutes. So I think it's amazing, and this isn't a kiss-up question because we've known each other too long, that you're getting to the NCAA tournament every couple of years, maybe every 3, but every couple usually. But then when you're in the NIT, you do damage. And a lot of people could not do that, but you're doing damage on a consistent basis.
Yeah, we've won
What is that about?
I've been to 3 NITs. It's almost like a scarlet letter. People don't really respect it, but we've been to 3 NIT Final Fours. I meant.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We've had success in that genre. Last year, I'll give you this for instance. So last year, man, we're battling, and we lose to Memphis, and we get on a plane, and we're coming home, and we're not thinking about the NIT. We're just thinking about We're just thinking about the season could be over, and that was my mindset. My guys are just, battered and bloodied and tired and whatever. I was playing about 8 guys at the time, and I was just riding Yaks as hard as we could ride. His body was breaking down a little bit. We get home, and we find out we're playing, you're in the NIT, and they're going to send you to St. Joe on Wednesday in Philly.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, and we got home late Sunday night, and I met with my team because I didn't even know if we had the bodies to go do it. So I gave it to them and said, hey, man, how do we feel about this? Nobody wants to go just to go. You want to go and give yourself a chance. The fact that it was in Philadelphia, Yaks is from New Jersey, it's close to his people, it kind of invigorated him, and then he's our leader, and so everybody just kind of jumped aboard, and I'm so glad that we did. We rebounded. We went to St. Joe in Philly, a really good A-10 team. We're able to win the game. Then they sent us to California.
Yeah,
we go win at Santa Clara, and then we were a little, we probably had our worst 2 or 3 minutes of basketball down the stretch to lose to UC Irvine, or we would have gone back to the NIT Final Four. Having said all that, our guys just wanted to continue to play. And I think, we don't play in any of the tournaments that you have to pay to be in. There's a lot of those that, hey, man, if you give us your money, you can come play and extend your season, say you went to postseason. We don't do that. We're going to play in the NCAA or the NIT. They're both owned by the NCAA. And I thought it was a good opportunity for our guys to continue to showcase, to play, and get the exposure that they come to UAB to get.
But you don't even get the results from younger guys getting extended practice time.
Right, because
they may be gone.
They are gone. Everybody's gone. I don't know if you heard a couple minutes ago.
Right. I remember.
I don't know, about 10 minutes ago I said, hey, we got them all. They're all gone.
We covered that. I mean, it's
not
crazy.
Not 1 minute. I don't even have a walk-on back. So, like this is what's crazy. So I've got to teach the walk-ons, like the drills. We're trying to treat,
This is how we do it?
You teach drills to implement concepts that ultimately get you to what you're trying to do. So it's just been, we got to do a lot of teaching.
Yeah. That is crazy. To be in your shoes, right?
It's bananas.
You think this is glamorous.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's bananas. I mean, I don't know how to be a plumber. I don't know how to do anything.
This is what you do.
What else am I going to do? I don't have another skill.
You could open up an insurance place in Louisville, Mississippi.
I could do that. I mean, I'm not into manual labor. I grew up doing that. I'm not into that. So I got to figure this out.
All right. So what do you carry from being the all-time winningest coach at Ole Miss, being very successful in an incredible league, and what have you brought from that to here? Is that an unfair question?
No,
because I know it is different.
Just experience, I don't necessarily believe experience is the greatest teacher until you take time to reflect on what the experience taught you. So I was out of it for 2 years. So I had forced reflection. It was the greatest thing that happened in my career. When my time ended after 12 seasons at Ole Miss, I moved to Birmingham. My oldest daughter, Megan, was at Samford. My youngest daughter, Caitlin, was going to be a freshman at Auburn. We moved back to Birmingham because it was kind of our home away from home. It was centrally located. We felt comfortable. We knew the area. We had friends here. So we moved back here, and I worked for ESPN for 2 years. So it was great for me as well. Gave me a lot of experience and to be able to see things from a different perspective. So then when the opportunity was given to me to come back to my alma mater, I just felt like I was at a better place. And then I thought our first few years, we had a really solid formula. This is how we're going to build this program to becoming nationally relevant, the Bartow standard. Then they changed the rules on us. Right. Our first year, it was COVID, so that was bizarre. We went 22 and something. Then we went out and we found some transfers. And back in those days, you could transfer once couldn't transfer again. So then you could build
had
some.
them.
I had Trey
Right.
Jemison for 3 years. I had,
Yes.
Jelly Walker for 2 years, Eric Gaines for 2 years, KJ Buffin for, really good players.
Good players.
That could come here and we could develop. And, you have Jelly for 2 years and you win 58 games in 2 years. You have Trey here for 3 years and he sets all kinds of records. Now he's with the New York Knicks. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the dream's about. Then they change the rule. Now they say, hey, bro, now you can transfer as much as you want, and now you got to pay them a lot of money to get them. And so now that has broken our model, and we've got to find a way to recreate a model that's sustainable here at UAB.
Yeah. Wow.
So you got any suggestions?
No, I have none. Actually,
I'm open.
That's why I'm asking.
Hey, I'm open.
Open to suggestions.
My DMs are open
Yeah.
for any ideas out there.
Your DMs are open. But again, getting back to the toughness thing, the other thing I want to ask you, because you were and I'm going to tell you things you don't know, but people may not know this, and we've said this story many times. When you were in high school, you're a running, jumping freak. You're shooting, but then you'll fake a shot and go dunk on somebody's head. Then the knee injury happens, and you have to change your game. So you've endured change and had great success after change. So tell me where the toughness, rebounding, freakiness comes from, because you were basically a perimeter player after the knee injury, but you develop post players, and we've talked about it, but for the sake of the podcast, where does that come from? Your development of post guys.
Well, I think there's, again, I try to adapt to our personnel. I think that's what a coach is supposed to do. I use John Thompson, the late, great John Thompson, the Georgetown legend, one of the legends in our game. You think about this. John Thompson was known for what early in his career? The development of big guys. He had Patrick Ewing, he had Alonzo Mourning, he had Dikembe Mutombo, he had great
guys,
front court guys, and they had great success, multiple Final Fours. Then he got this guy named Allen Iverson, and he completely transitioned
fast,
into playing. That's what a good coach is supposed to do. You're supposed to go out and recruit to a philosophy, then you're supposed to adapt to the strengths and weaknesses of your personnel. So I've always been, Jelly Walker. Jelly Walker came in here and broke a lot of records, most of them mine. Yeah. He came in and broke a lot of records. Led the league in scoring and assists and shot a bunch of balls, and we won 58 games, as I just said.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Then we got this kid named Yaxel Lindeborg. So we had to change completely how we played and tried to play through Yax once he got the courage to be the alpha.
Yeah.
And so, to your point, that's what a coach is supposed to do. So now I've got a whole new group, and I've got to figure out, it may not be a Jelly, there may not be a Yax, two, first team all-league guys. There may not be that guy. So collectively, we've got to figure out who we are. And to your earlier point, there is no room for margin for error as it relates to taking some early L's.
Right.
Now, when you're
Right.
in quote-unquote a mid, a non-P4, because the system has just changed too. It's all about quad 1 and quad 2 opportunities, and we just don't have that many. We've tried to schedule as aggressively as we could. Those options have become limited to us as well.
Yeah, because you're too good right now.
Well, and our numbers don't necessarily reflect it. Like we ended up at 99 because we were 7-6 in the non-league. I own that.
Right.
We were able to go 13-5 in the league, get to the final, so you're 15-6 in your league. And as a result, you finish out of 363 teams, you finish 99th in the net. Well, 99th is not sexy enough for
Right.
somebody to take the risk to lose to you. Now, 2 years ago, we were when we had Jelly, and then we had the Eric Gaines team, the team that went 27-8, and then the team that went 29-10. Those teams were ranked 46th and 49th in the final net. So as a result, that's how we were able to get the teams
Right.
like South Carolina and West Virginia and say we were able Georgia. We were able
Yeah.
to get more teams because that's more palpable to them.
Yeah.
All right, we know it's not going to be an easy game, which is respectful to us. But the numbers make it worth it. So we've got to do a better job to get our numbers.
If we lose that game, it's not going to kill us.
Right.
But if we lose to 99, which is possible.
Right. Now it's a quad 3 loss. And they're not, it's hard to get them to come to Birmingham. So I'm even saying, hey, I'll come to you.
2 for 1s. And
Yeah, all that stuff, And so you end up we've got to do a good job of getting our numbers up. And then I think there'll be more scheduling opportunities for us. But that's just the way that the world works now, regardless of friendships. I've called a lot of friends. Hey, I thought we were boys. Let's go. What do you mean?
Rick.
Griff, what are you doing, bro? I thought we were going to do this. Well, not at 99, we're not.
All right, final question. what is your feel right now? This is an unfair question. It's 2 weeks, and they're all new. What is your feel that, okay, I've got this in this team?
I think we've got great competitive spirit. I think we've got guys that are coachable, which is important, man. That's so important. Guys that want to get better. I think our perimeter defense may be the best that we've had here collectively. I've got guys that can dig up and guard the ball, which hopefully doesn't force you into unnecessary rotations, which is where defenses get beat. Our defense has not been good. We had Yaxel Lindenborg, the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, but our defensive numbers were the lowest of our 5 years, the last 2. We couldn't really get stops the way we needed to, and it started some with our perimeter breakdowns. I'm hopeful that this group won't force us to get to that next level of defense, because we've got Daniel Rivera, we've got Evan Chapman, we've got Kyron Lindsey, we've got Big Joe. I can't even say his name. But we got some size in there, but we don't really have an elite shot blocker. So we've got to keep people out of our paint. I think this group also, it could be a team, again, we've had Jelly for 2 years getting his 20-something a game. Then we've had Yaxel for 2 years that we've tried to run things through. This group may be more of 5 guys between 13 and 9. The balance,
which is going to be hard to guard if you
get
them going.
I would hope. I've done it both, and would you rather have 6 guys that are capable of leading you in scoring, or 2 guys that are going to lead you in scoring? It depends on the makeup of your team. But I think this group has got a chance. We've got great opportunities. I want to put a plug in October 23rd, right around the corner. We've got Vanderbilt coming to Bartow Arena in an exhibition game, and this is the first year that the NCAA has allowed you to play other Division I teams in front of a crowd, which is huge for my group. You got
to have it. Every other sport, you get exhibition games.
And for my group, 12 new guys that haven't been together, to have a chance to play a team like Vanderbilt from the SEC, who went to the NCAA tournament last year, in front of fans, because it's one thing to do it in practice. We played them last year in Nashville in front of nobody in a close scrimmage. That's one thing. That's great. But when you put the fans in the stands,
that game atmosphere.
It changes the dynamic a little bit. So we will learn a lot about our team from that, number one. Then we come back and do it again against Western Kentucky, another storied program, an old rivalry of ours, who's always very, very competitive. Now they're in Conference USA. We do it again. So you get 2 under your belt before they start counting in that right or left column, before we open up the season. Those things are going to be huge for us, and they're going to tell us a lot about our team.
And those will be as important as games that count for you.
Well, early, just allow me to play a lot of different guys. Obviously, you want to win, but that ultimately is
You're
not
not worried about that, but development-wise.
I've got to put guys in games and see who can. Coach Bartow used to say, "Lord, Andy, when the popcorn's popping," and he's right. When that popcorn starts popping, some guys rise and some guys fall.
That's right.
So hopefully we make sure we got popcorn on the.
That's right.
October 23rd against Vanderbilt.
Oil gets hot. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks, man.
We appreciate it. Good to see you. Andy Kennedy will be a guest here many times as basketball gets rolling on. Our Coach's Corner, again, brought to you by Viva Health and Pepsi. We'll take a break, come back with more on the Inferno Podcast.
The if in life. It's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends. If you can keep an eye on your money along the way. If you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings. When you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Welcome back to the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here, our Blazer of the Week, a new basketball player here for the Blazers, coming over from UMass, and a massive history of schools that you've been at. But Daniel Rivera joins us. Daniel, how's it going?
It's going good. Appreciate it.
Yeah. How long you been here, actually?
Probably about a month and a half.
That's it?
Yeah.
A month and a half. What do you think so far?
It's pretty good, adjusting to the team and the coaching staff has been pretty good so far.
Yeah. So Daniel came from UMass, averaged 11 points, a little over 7 rebounds a game. You're known as a kind of a glass eater, right? So tell me about that as far as your personality and your play. What makes, because you're 6'7", which is, you're not 6'10", so you're getting a lot of rebounds.
I mean, for me, it's just showing the world, like, I want to play as hard as I can. You know, making sure I'm the hardest playing dude out there, and that's what I take pride in, you know, being a high defensive player.
Yeah.
And just kind of be a leader in that sense, just playing hard and showing guys that, you know, that's like the main focus on winning.
Yeah.
You know?
And you figured out, obviously, it's a rebounding's effort.
Yeah.
So it's not about height. It's effort.
Effort, you know, somewhat technique to it, you know, because you got to seal guys and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's been going good so far. But, yeah, I take pride in just playing hard, you know.
Yeah.
That always helps winning. You know, I want to help winning.
Yeah, yeah. Add to the deal. So where did that come from? Was that something instilled by parents, or you kind of figured it out in high school, or you know, because not everybody, let's be honest, plays hard.
So I grew up. So I was born in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So half of my life in Puerto Rico, and then I went to New York in the Bronx. So those are two pretty tough environments to be in. So basically in New York, in the Bronx, I grew up like in the projects. Mm-hmm. So it's like really, really tough environment.
You got to survive, yeah.
You got to survive out there, and there was a lot of guys that helped me with that process, like the uncles from the neighborhood and stuff like that. Yeah. So they come out there. There's like a center for kids, and that's where kind of like go to work out and stuff like that with my guy glasses, that my mentor that got me coming here.
Yeah. So I can imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you can get in a lot of trouble in the projects in the Bronx, right? So they have blacktops, they got basketball courts everywhere. So you can either choose this deal or choose.
Yeah.
So what made you choose basketball and stay that course?
I mean, when I was in Puerto Rico, my parents instilled that in me. You know, like they put a basketball in my hands, and I stuck with that. You know, my mom sacrificed her time to pay for my school stuff, and I was seeing that every day, that it's pretty tough, you know, going to work, you know, not having that much time for, you know, to do fun stuff, and she taking care of all that stuff. So that was something that that put me in that position where let's just, you know, this is what I have to do.
Right.
For her and for me, for everybody that's around me.
So it's that sense of self and payback.
Yeah.
To make sure she's taken care of.
Yeah.
I got you.
Definitely.
Have you always been tall? I mean, again, 6'7"'s not crazy tall in basketball, but
if you see my pictures, I was
average,
really skinny. Like when I started growing, it was my junior year. Mm-hmm. I was like, I went from like 5'10" to like 6'3".
Really?
Yeah.
Were you a guard?
Yeah, I was a guard.
You were a guard, so
yeah. That's kind of why I play the way I play. You know, because now I'm more like the forward side.
Yeah.
But I could still like play make and facilitate for the teammates. So that's kind of an ability that I put together.
Yeah, and guard perimeter guys. I'm guessing your footwork and all that
pretty
kind of
much
stuff.
like 1 through 5. Like I feel like I could guard 1 through 5, and you know, and just play hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. For folks watching, Odessa College, which is a well-known JUCO, St. Louis a good basketball school, Bryant, UMass. So you've been on the move. So what made you leave UMass with a great junior year and start looking around?
They went to a different conference. It's a lower conference, and I feel like it's not bad to, stick with that, but I want to be able to compete with the highest level of people I could play with. If I could be playing with LeBron, I want to play with LeBron
right.
or against LeBron, like stuff like that. I want to play at the highest level.
Yeah.
And compete. I don't ever want to feel like, I'm this top guy, until I feel like, something that gets me through that. Like, for example, like if I feel like I'm getting 30 every game, it's
not hard enough?
It's not. I wanna be able to go through adversity and like something that's tough for me, because I know when you're in that, I haven't been there and I wish to be there, and to the NCAA Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's tough.
Yeah.
That's I had teammates that went there and they tell me about their experience. Going with a team that it's a lower level team.
Mm-hmm.
No
disrespect.
No
Yeah,
disrespect.
yeah.
But it's just I just want to play with
the best you can.
The best I can.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I got you. And obviously, this is a team, UAB, with Andy Kennedy, that can go to the tournament. And, if they miss the tournament and get in the NIT, which is not very often, they do really well in the NIT too. So,
yeah,
what did you look at when you chose it?
It's a winning program. They've been in tournaments for the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I really look up. I want to be part of winning. I want to show people I can win, because that's like the main goal for everybody. And over here at UAB, I think that's like the main thing. People, they're winners.
Yeah.
Over here. So I want to be part of that side.
Yeah. So was it a quick process? Did he see you?
Nah. It was a tough process. I mean, I've been here a month and a half. It was a tough process, but I was able to get it through. I talked to a lot of schools but AK gave me the opportunity, and now I'm here.
It's rare to have a coach that can look you eye to eye, isn't it? Most of your coaches are probably this tall. And there's AK's right there, man.
I mean, he was a player.
Yeah.
He was a player, really good player, too.
Really good player.
Yeah, I seen that 41 game that he had against St. Louis.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah. So is it kind of cool to have a coach that can literally look you eye to eye? And
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, he's a tough.
He's tough-minded.
Yeah.
And his career, to let you know, he was a tough player too, but he was more of a perimeter guy, jump shooter guy. So it's interesting to me, and we'll ask him when he gets in here. I've known him for 1,000 years. So that his, if you said a synopsis of who he is as a coach, it's getting tough-minded, defensive guys that can rebound, which was not exactly what he was as a player. I find that interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting. Also, like, for me, like, I know he looks for that stuff, and I look for coaches that teach shooting. He could teach me shooting.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, and that's something that I want to, like, install in my game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm getting there and with confidence, and just if I could get that, I feel like that would get me to wherever I want to go.
Yeah. Daniel Rivera, our guest here, our Blazer of the Week here, new basketball player coming from UMass, redshirt senior, by the way. What do you think of your team so far? I know you guys have been playing pickup since you've been here, but with the organized practices, what do you see? Because it's a heck of a lot of new guys. I mean, and that's just college basketball now, right? So,
Yeah. I mean, our team is great. We fast. We know what we're doing. You know, I feel like we got experienced guys when I'm playing out there. You know, with them and practicing every day and battling, you know, going through tough stuff like 3 hours all the time, you know, like we for the little bit of time we got, I feel like we're connected. We just got to get it to another level and another level into like that's going to get us to where we want to be.
Right.
I feel like we could compete. You know, we're fast, we're tough, and we're connected.
Yeah.
In a sense.
And we're only talking a couple of weeks now, right? Basically.
Yeah.
So you get that sense right now. And obviously, you're going to get more connected as you get more practices and you start playing games and such. But do you see that tough-minded, defensive-minded, rebounding
Definitely.
Beyond yourself for the team?
Definitely, I seen that from the team, and we just a great group. I feel like we're gonna be great. We're gonna be great, and yeah, you know, we're tough. We're pretty tough.
Yeah,
I'd say.
So you kind of alluded to being a leader, and it's kind of interesting that you just got here, but I guess that's your age.
I mean,
and
it's a process.
right? Yeah,
it's a process.
You got to earn it with your teammates, correct?
You got to earn it. You know, definitely got to earn it. And people got to see it. Got to see it every day.
Yeah.
But you adjust to it. You know, by the time comes the game comes, that's where everything falls in place. You know, and like I feel like everybody has their sense of leadership in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some guys like to talk. Some guys just lead by example. Some guys just lead in one ability that they do.
Right, right.
So
hustle, maybe just hustle. Yeah.
Maybe just hustle. Maybe
Yeah.
just shoot. Maybe
Yeah.
just playing in the perimeter, like in any sense, you know. So that's kind of what I try to do when I go into practice, you know, try to lead in the things I can lead in and figure out from there. But our group is pretty connected, so it's like there's a whole... Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. You didn't do anything. I think it just fell over.
Nah, I think it just...
Raise it just a touch. It might balance it out, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, it's like... Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
Put it a little bit more in front of your mouth, and we can edit. Don't worry about it. So,
Oh, all right, bet.
yeah,
Good,
this
good.
isn't live on.
Good. I thought it was
Those things are
live.
kind of funky, and sometimes they get out of whack a little bit. There you go.
Okay. I don't want to break it. These seems expensive.
You're not going to break it. Yeah, I saw one of them, and I had it. It's like you can only see your eyes. Like, yeah.
That's good? All right.
What were you? I think we were
Wait,
talking about,
where I was at?
we were talking about. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what it was because we were talking about. Oh, we were talking about different ways people can lead. You said sometimes it's hustle, sometimes it's experience, right?
Yeah. So there's different ways, you know. So, but our team is so connected that everybody leads, in my opinion. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, it's just everybody had their own way. I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not one distinct wolf, right?
Yeah,
And
like
everybody-
it's a whole bunch of wolves.
Yeah. All right. So, which are you? Are you talking? Are you example? Obviously, you're going to be example if you're a rebounder and defender like you are. Or are you a combination of all that? As far as being a leader,
A combination. I try to do everything like versatile, so like a combination of everything. You know, that's because playing hard is playing hard in everything.
Yeah. Meaning practice,
Practice,
this drill.
you know, getting rehab, a drill, everything. So a little bit of everything is good.
Yeah. Daniel Rivera, our guest here again. So when it came to UAB, what some other schools that you were considering, and was there a deciding factor beyond winning? You kind of clicked with AK, I'm guessing, you know,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. Was it only that, or was there other things?
You know, the shooting, I say, the shooting from the coach, you know, he could teach me stuff that, you know, that could get me to that next level, you know, because he was a great shooter.
Oh, unbelievable, yeah.
Winning, a great environment, you know, the weather. The weather is nice.
You've been in the north, yeah.
I've been in the north, and it's pretty tough to wake up in the morning and
That's right.
get your work in, come back, put a coat on, you know, take it off, put it on again. So it's pretty hard doing it in the cold weather.
Yeah.
Now I just put my slides, shorts. I'm ready to go
Here
to
you go,
practice.
yeah. This isn't Puerto Rico, but it's more Puerto Rico than UMass or St.
Yeah.
Louis or Rhode Island
Yeah.
and some of the places you've been, right?
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It helps me a lot in a sense.
What do you do when you're not focusing on basketball and all that? You've already got your sociology degree, so you're taking some courses, obviously being a redshirt senior. So beyond that, what do you like to do?
Taking care of my body, you know, hanging with family, talking with family a lot.
You got family here?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
got
do?
family.
Okay.
I do got
Oh,
family.
tell me about that.
Actually, it's I didn't know until I got here. To
Really?
be honest, yeah. I got cousins and an uncle over here, so it's pretty.
That's crazy.
I don't even know
How did
how
that
it
happen?
happened.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it happened. So, you know, talking to them, you know, and seeing them, because I didn't see them from a long time. I saw them, last time I saw them was in Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
and that was a minute ago. I was like 12.
Wow.
So it's
10
pretty
years
cool
ago.
to like get back with them and talking to them. So yeah.
You didn't know they were here when you were considering UAB?
I didn't know. I don't know.
That's
it's just
crazy.
I got a big family.
Yeah.
So my dad has nine brothers.
Ah.
So yeah, that's kind of why I got like thousands of cousins from everywhere.
Yeah. So how did you tell me how you figured out you're in Birmingham or you're in the area or how did
Well, my dad told me. I'm like, oh, for real? Then that's when I went to go see them, and they showed me around. So I was pretty comfortable. Like, it made it easier for me to
Yeah.
adjust to Birmingham.
So it's not home, but it feels more like home than maybe some other places, right?
I get the good food and stuff like that from them. Yeah, they could cook the Caribbean food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Can you cook? A little
Yeah,
bit?
definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to our lightning round because it sounds like we're kind of going there now, right?
I
So
mean, we
we're-
could talk basketball. We could talk.
Well, we can, and you have talked several things about basketball, but let's talk. And that doesn't mean we don't talk about basketball. But we're going to ask you some different questions as well. So we call it the lightning round. First thing that comes to your mind. All right, but let's just stay with the food. You're a cook. Did mom teach you that? You felt like you had to learn because you're away from home, and you didn't want to eat out every night, or how'd that come about?
That and mama. So like, when I was in college, like I didn't want to eat like junk food because I want to take care of my body. Like that's
Yeah.
something I take pride in. You know, taking care of my body and eating the right stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So what's your top dish you can whip up that's Caribbean?
rice, beans, and chicken.
And just putting different spices in it?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it could be. I don't really like that much seasoning in like some of the stuff.
yeah.
Because some things are bad, but, you know, I try to keep it where it's healthy,
Yeah.
you know. So just rice, beans, and chicken, and like we don't do much of like seasoning different ways, but we cook it different ways. In a
Gotcha.
sense.
I gotcha.
So sometimes you could steam it up, and sometimes you could put it in a pan and like fry it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Saute
kinda-
it, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how we do it.
I got
Yeah.
you. All right, so when you're doing that, obviously you still got to eat out some. So do you like to get away from Caribbean and try things, or do you still stay in that genre of food where it's rice, beans, and chicken? Or
I like pasta.
Okay.
I like pasta, you know, Italian stuff. I like Chinese food. I like pretty much a
so
lot
you
of
like
things.
origins and ethnicity of food, right?
Yeah.
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 Have you tried barbecue?
Barbecue. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on it? I mean, you love it, or
It's good. It's good. It's great.
yeah.
It's great. I love barbecue.
And I'm sure you've probably had it at other places. You've been in America 10 years, but barbecue in the South is obviously.
Yeah, I had it in Odessa, Texas.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, our coach, he makes some great barbecue chicken.
Okay.
So
So
that's-
you kind of like that. You're digging
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
So again, what do you say? Keep up with family? Are you a video game guy in your off time? Do you read? Do you like bouncing around town?
I
or-
play video games here and there. Just pretty much just focusing on basketball, like taking care of my body, you know, because
Yeah.
it was a tough experience for me when I was in St. Louis, and I don't want to get it to, you know, I was out for the whole year. So that made me realize, like, I really got to take care of my body. You know, that was like, that been my focus since that time, you know, because it's tough to sit out and then try to come back and play. You don't know if you're going to be good, you know,
Right.
so it's scary to anybody to get hurt and then try to get back in it. You know, some people are going to trust that you're going to be good. Some people don't trust that you're going to be good. So staying healthy, that always helps your body and being able to sustain that high of an effort.
Does that fuel the effort thing for you too? Being out, it's like gives you that extra. And I'm sure you hustled anyway, but do you hustle even more now and kind of realize I don't take this for granted, right?
Yeah. So that like taking care of your body, that always helps. You know, and it gives you that extra boost,
Yeah,
I'll say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Final question, lightning round. What do you want to do? Obviously, play overseas, professional somewhere. But eventually, when basketball's done, what are you thinking?
I want to coach or train kids, probably make my own gym, you know, somewhere in Puerto Rico and teach kids how to, you know, play basketball.
How to get there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
how to get there, because it's tough to get to where I am and where other people are at. So, you know, just always helping the community and stuff like that. Like, I want to be able to help kids and stuff like that to, you know, become a great basketball player.
Gotcha. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Appreciate
We're
it.
looking forward to it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, Daniel Rivera, great rebounder, defender, can score a little bit inside as well, learning how to shoot from AK. We'll take a break, come back with more. You're watching the Inferno podcast.
Oh yeah, oh no. Oh yeah, let's roll. Let's roll.
Trent Dilfer here, head football coach of the UAB Blazers. Get out there and tackle your financial goals with a new credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Legacy offers multiple credit cards for whatever your financial objectives are. You can begin earning rewards today with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB.
Welcome back to the Inferno podcast. This week in Blazer Nation is brought to you by Children's of Alabama. As always, let's take a look. There is a ton of action for UAB athletics coming up in the next week or so. First of all, UAB women's soccer at Tulsa, 7 o'clock. That's October 9th on the schedule. The men's tennis team still priming themselves. They're at the ITA South Regionals, the 9th through the 14th, so extended time there. Volleyball. Right in the middle of the season pretty much now. UAB volleyball at Tulsa again, 6 o'clock, October 10th. The 11th, we got a trio of things going on. UAB softball in their fall season, of course, but very important for the development of the team, taking on Mississippi College at 3 o'clock. UAB football, of course, on that Saturday against Florida Atlantic. And then the rifle team at Nebraska on that Saturday. We get to Sunday, UAB volleyball at Wichita State at 12 o'clock. Women's soccer is hosting East Carolina University. That's a 1 o'clock start. And the men's soccer against Charlotte will be later on that same night at 7 o'clock. So, in essence, a doubleheader at the soccer stadium. 13th and 14th of October, men's golf at the Everett Buick GMC Classic. Women's golf team is at the Lady Red Wolves Classic on the 13th and 14th as well. Women's tennis at the ITA Southern Regionals, the 13th through the 17th. It's kind of up there with the men's team, pretty much in the same kind of time frame. Softball back October 15th against Northeastern Mississippi. That's a 5 o'clock game. And then men's soccer rounds out this next week of action at North Carolina. Pretty big game. That's 6 o'clock on October 15th. So just a full schedule of all kind of stuff happening, and that doesn't count the basketballs of the world and everybody else practicing, getting ready for the winter sports as well. So that's our Blazer Nation schedule, again brought to you by Children's of Alabama. We hope you've enjoyed the podcast today. Great stuff from Andy Kennedy and Daniel Rivera and much more. We'll have a lot more coming up next week for Season 2, Episode 11 as well. For all the folks here, we'll say so long. Until next week, you've been watching the Inferno podcast.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.